Happy Friday, Blue Demons. Welcome to Get to Know DePaul. This is our live streaming series that does deep dives with different departments, universities, and people around campus so that you can better get to know the resources and opportunities that will be available to you this fall. As you can with every stream, you can check into today's show by scanning the QR code pictured here or by clicking the link in the comments for your opportunity to win one of our stainless steel Lincoln Park map water bottles. So be sure to check in. You can check in anytime between now and Friday, September 11th, whether you're watching the stream live or watching the recorded version later on. You still have that opportunity to check in. So we will go ahead and get started. Coach Lato, Karen, thanks so much for joining us today.
Thanks, Courtney. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, great to be here. Hi.
Yeah. So to get started, if you could just start off by telling us a little bit about yourself. So who you are, what you do here at DePaul, perhaps how long you've been here and why you decided to come to DePaul in the first place. And Coach, we'll start with you.
Okay. So as you mentioned, Coach Dave Lato is my name. I've got an interesting relationship with DePaul in that I am here for the second time. I started out in 2002. When Gene Lenti-Ponsetto hired me from University of Connecticut as an assistant, and I was here until 2005, left, and then 10 years later returned back to Lincoln Park in 2015, and so altogether I'm starting my 9th year. It's a wonderful experience. This is my 37th year in coaching. But I think my relationship with the university and its athletic department is just special because there's some wonderful people here that provide great opportunity for our student athletes.
Yeah, great. Thanks so much, Coach. Karen, how about you?
Oh, wow. I've been here a while. I've been here for 34 years now. I'm a double demon. I've got an undergrad and graduate degree from here. Former athlete back in the day. Came here, worked on the development side for a while. Now I'm on the marketing side within athletics, and have just really enjoyed many years here under a couple of athletic directors, and really enjoy working with the students and helping to develop the student experience here at DePaul.
Yeah, that's great. So if you don't mind, how about you tell us a little bit about the athletics? I think people are well familiar with the fact that colleges and universities have sports and that DePaul competes at a high level. But just curious if you could take some time to give us a general overview about what athletics is and a little bit about the program.
So athletics here at DePaul, we're an NCAA Division I. One AAA program, which means we don't have football, but we do compete in the very highly competitive and prestigious Big East Conference. We've got 15 sports here that we do sponsor. Students that would like to try out for a sport, we always have open tryouts for students. In these COVID-related days, my best advice is to email the coach if you're interested in trying out for a sport. At this point, because our fall seasons, unfortunately, have been canceled with the Big East. And we're going to wait to hear about basketball, but I'll let Coach Lato talk a little more about that. What our mission here is to give the best possible student experience, and then in athletics itself, the best possible experience for our student athletes, both athletically and academically. We've won numerous national and conference academic awards. We've won numerous conference championships in the same way. So, and then winning those championships and getting onto the NCAA tournament are byproducts of building the program and taking it forward, right? And the ultimate, in the end, it's to do what DePaul is trying to do as well, and that's to build a socially responsible leaders that we send out into the world to do good. And we're so very proud of that legacy. We have many former athletes that are doing awesome things all over the world.
Yeah, that's great. Coach? Yeah, so it's obviously one of the great parts about athletics really, in my mind, has this dual role. One, yes, they serve the student athletes that are, on the fields, on the courts, and competing in that realm. And then also they are the place that bring together the fans, right?
Yep.
We talk a lot about at DePaul what it means to be a Blue Demon. And that identity and that pride, athletics is really a place where that starts and fosters. But, Coach, I'm wondering if you might be able to tell us a little bit about the student athlete experience. Like, what do your players, what does their experience look like at DePaul? How do they participate both as a student athlete and a student, and what does that look like?
Yeah, it's actually a really good question, because I think there's a lot of assumptions that people make about the life and times and days of student athletes, and particularly in our case in basketball. And primarily our guys come from all over the country, so their first trip to Chicago is met by being on the Lincoln Park campus here at DePaul, and so getting comfortable with the surroundings, with the city, and all the things that are wonderful about the university. It's part of their first initial experience. But then, we talk very early on about time management, because they've got to juggle the time related to their academic life, taking 4 or 5 classes, and distributing their time between in-class learning, studying, meeting with small groups, getting tutoring, all those things that go beyond the few hours that they have to spend, particularly in that classroom. So there's a lot of things that go into that. And then, we work really hard and demand a lot of time. The NCAA allows us off-season 8 hours per week, and in-season 20 hours per week. So we gobble up a lot of their day as well. Typically, but obviously, there's weightlifting time, there's conditioning time. So what I talk about initially is tremendous time management. A typical day is getting up early, eating a good breakfast. Probably have two classes or so during the course of the morning or mid-morning, early afternoon. There's rehab, so you have to make sure you take care of your body. There's nutrition, that you're putting the right things at the right time into your body. All those things take time. Coming over to the athletic center, getting prepared, getting taped, getting rehab, all those things that you do in preparation for practice, and then spending 2 to 3 hours on the floor every day, and then post practice, being able to cool down, take care of your body, again, eat properly, get back to your apartment or your dormitory, get back to some studying, and then get a breather somewhere around 8 or 9 or 10 o'clock at night. So we try to keep them really busy. The challenge is to meet both academics and basketball head on, so that you can put your best foot forward and maximize your experience in both of those fields. And so there's a lot that goes into it. It's a 7-day-a-week proposition, and I think, as I said, when they first get here, especially from out of town, just getting them used to that time management skill is a real key component.
Yeah, that's great to touch on, because I think that there's a lot of perceptions for what a student athlete's experience looks like. And, at the end of the day, there's a reason that we call them student athletes, right? Like, they are students first, and they still have classes. And, for our students watching who are, that are not student athletes, you're going to be in classes with our student athletes, like, you're going to be in business classes, science classes, communication classes, whatever your major might be. The people that you're watching on the court or field are also going to be the people who are in the class, or in the classroom with you. And they're going to be part of your group projects. They're going to be part of these other things. So I think it's really important for people to realize too, like, that, yes, the experience might look a little bit different, but it's still, they're still at the core of it, they're still students as well. So, Karen, I'm curious, I know you work a lot with Blue Crew. So for students who might be watching that have a true interest in athletics, how can they get involved, and how can they stay engaged if they're not necessarily a student athlete?
Blue Crew is a great way to stay involved with us. They are the first to know when news comes out, and just follow us on social media. It's at DPU Blue Crew. Yeah, that's it. Follow it. We are a recognized student organization. We're on DeHub, so come and join us and be a member. That's the best way for Blue Crew. Usually gets the first news on anything that's happening around campus. They plan some really great events. They are the leaders in the student section at games, especially basketball. Really had a great time at Wintrust Arena last year, especially with men's hoops. That final run, Coach, at the end of the season, beating Georgetown Marquette was great. And then, a lot of excitement as they went into the tournament. And unfortunately, it got canceled, but we had some good stuff going. And Blue Crew experienced a very significant increase in membership. We had a huge increase in student attendance last year. We did a lot of fun stuff. So that's the place to go. There's also a game day page on the DePaul website at DePaulBlueDemons.com. If you click under the fan section, there's a student game day page. And when we're up and running again, that's the place to go. The video that you saw earlier, that's just a small microcosm of what we do. We let student, I don't know if you want me to talk about that right now, what the student experience is like with us.
Yeah, go for it.
So for basketball, sorry about that. I had a little blip there. For basketball, students coming from Lincoln Park, obviously they have a U-Pass. They can get down to Wintrust Arena on their own. It's in the beautiful South Loop. It's a new and up-and-coming neighborhood in Chicago. Lots of places to go. Being in the city, we do a lot of fun things. One of the things, though, is we do bus share from campus, too. So back and forth. And there's always, like, something to do. There's swag. We gave away bucket hats last year, lunch boxes, all sorts of stuff. But students, I don't know if you saw, they get to compete in the spin the wheel thing at halftime. And then, stuff that you can only do in the city. We're down in the South Loop is the heart of the blues, right? That's where Chess Records is located. And we had a blues band at halftime last year. So there's a lot of things that we do that are just unique to the city that students can enjoy as well. Free food, free giveaways, and also that game day t-shirt. So just had a student poll out on that. If you haven't voted, we can get that out on Blue Crew one more time. So join Blue Crew. And that's how you're going to find out what's going on. Keep your thumb, if you want your thumb on the pulse of what's happening in DePaul Athletics, Blue Crew is the way to go. They will be in complete communication through this whole time of remote learning.
Yeah, and Coach, I'm sure you could probably speak a little bit about the importance of Blue Crew at our games and as part of our DePaul community as well.
Absolutely, and our guys have a very tangent and intimate relationship with the Blue Crew. One, because we see each other on campus all the time, as you mentioned before, in the classroom or walking in Lincoln Park or the Loop campus, and so there's the getting to know part of it that I think the Blue Crew has made mention of to our guys a lot, and then the intimacy of the game experience. There's an obvious love affair with sports and athletics across the country, and so as a college student, you get to immerse yourself in a sport that's exciting.
Oop, we lost him. There he goes.
Bring friends to the game, and it's just a tremendous way to connect with not just the team or not just basketball, but the experience. And I think it fortifies a student to be able to either have bragging rights or to walk around campus and wear their Blue Crew gear as talking points, all those kind of things that shows pride not only in basketball program athletics, but pride in university. And I think it's become a very, very wonderful experience, not just for the Blue Crew, but our guys really appreciate, what the Blue Crew has brought to our fan experience at Wintrust Arena.
Yeah, for sure, Courtney. Students totally make the difference. Having the student section lights up the rest of the arena, and it's really important. And that's one of the things that we do. Students get free tickets. They get a free ticket to the game. They get free transportation, and they can bring a guest, which is the coolest part, especially when we do play non-conference and we're playing like a local school like Loyola, UIC, or Northwestern. They can bring their friends from, a high school friend, and it's a discounted ticket. It's only $10. Single game tickets are a lot higher than that. So there's a lot of benefits and a lot of reasons to come out to the games because it's where we congregate. It's where we get together.
Yeah, and I think one of the themes that we've had throughout this entire series as well is we've been talking about community and how important it is, especially in your first year, whether you're a first year student or new to DePaul, it's really important to find your place. And I say this knowing, like, for our sophomores, juniors, seniors, if you feel like you haven't found that place yet, I would encourage you to find it. And I think one of the ways that you can is through a group like Blue Crew. You have this opportunity to get with people who are of like interests. Like if you like talking about sports, Blue Crew is a great place for you to be, right? If you just want to be part of a group that continuously gathers and goes somewhere together or travels together and sees the city Blue Crew is that group, right? Like, because yes, it's this group that goes to basketball games, but it's also a group that has weekly meetings, and you get to come up with plans to help make campus life better. And you travel the L and you go to restaurants before those games. Like, it is this great opportunity where you can go and connect with other people. And throughout this entire series, we've been talking about how important it is really to find that place. And Blue Crew is really another one of those. And yes, they're the supporter of athletics. But for our students who are looking to find that place, I would definitely encourage you to check out Blue Crew because, as we've been talking about through this entire experience too, we know that this virtual environment, and while campus life is a little bit more remote right now, there's less things going on. This is your chance to still build a foundation so that, when we eventually have basketball games and softball games and soccer games and all those things, you can make some friends in this virtual environment so you can go together later on. So I think that's really important about Blue Crew as well. And it's, again, just another great opportunity for students to join in.
Yeah, we hear that a lot, and Blue Crew kids always encourage students, especially in the residence halls. Well, my friends don't want to come with me. Well, that's okay. Just come anyway because you're gonna be with a couple hundred kids that have the same interest as you, and you're gonna bond and unite at the game. And yeah, you're right. There's a pizza place right across the street that they gather at pregame now, and sometimes we do some official pregames. Like we'll bring food trucks on, if we're on campus under the L and do some things like that and just have a great party and a great time and or post game and have some music out there. So and the best part about Blue Crew is that's where you have input into what happens for students at our games. Blue Crew comes up and can request and make suggestions and ideas, and we've executed on those because no one knows better than students themselves what they're looking for at a game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So obviously we know this fall is going to look a little bit different, especially in the world of athletics. The Big East isn't competing in its traditional format, but I think one of the things I follow the Big East on social media and DePaul athletics as well. And I've been seeing a lot about these special initiatives. And Coach Leto, perhaps you might talk a little bit about some of the initiatives coming out of the Big East. Like I know they've been talking a lot about voter engagement and diversity, equity, and inclusion. Just curious if you can tell us a little bit more about those.
Yeah, there's a lot of things going on in real time, Courtney, quite obviously, and DePaul, the Big East, and the landscape of the NCAA wants to be a part of making sure that there's a connection, not just with our students, but our whole community. And it has started, quite honestly, with voter registration, getting more people, particularly young people, to be involved in the process of voting. So we've taken, the lead as a university and specifically within our athletic department to register all of our student athletes to be part of the voting process. Obviously we come from all over the United States, so there's mail-in voting, there's absentee voting, and so we want to make sure that a lot of them, especially coming away from home for the first time and the experience of being 18 years old, that it's the first time in their lives that being able to vote. So that's been a big initiative. We've partnered with the RISE program to kind of help not only get our guys and women registered, but then the process of educating them as well. There's a lot that everybody assumes and may not know and understand about the voting process, both past, present, and especially an understanding for all parties involved, staff, coaches, particularly students and student athletes, to be really engaged in that process. And then we go beyond, and we've started subcommittees here in the athletic department. I'm the chair of a subcommittee for education. There's an awareness committee. And so we're trying to do our part to be part of this change and this momentum in this country that we live in, to be better educated about what's going on around us and take, especially as our young people, 18 to 22, have so much to do and so much to say with our future, that we can make them a very integral part of what's going on in America today.
Yeah, I couldn't have said that better myself. And Coach, it looks like we lost your video feed, but we still have audio for you. But for our students that are listening, we also have a great resource available if you haven't heard about it yet. We've got an image pictured here, but if you're not registered to vote yet, or if you want to check, you can also utilize a resource that we have available called TurboVote. So if you go to depaul.turbovote.org, you can sign up to get registered to vote, but also sign up for text reminders about
Courtney, can you hear
deadlines
me?
for. Yep, we can hear you just fine, Coach. Yeah, we just can't see you. But yeah, if you go to TurboVote, you can sign up for those reminders, and you can you'll get text messages, reminders, not only about the presidential election, but about any other upcoming elections in your area as well. So great. So as we, head towards the tail end of our interview here, just wanted to see if y'all have any advice for either first year students or students who are new to DePaul about taking advantage and getting the most out of their college experience here. So, Coach, we'll see if are you still connected via audio? It sounds like we may have missed him. So Karen, how about if you're willing to share some advice for our students?
For sure. I think, one of the first things is go make new friends. That's number one. The students that you meet in your class, are sometimes, you never know. You might come out with a lifelong friend. I know I did when I was a student at DePaul. I have lifelong friends that I still talk to today. Get out of your comfort zone. Go talk to somebody that maybe you normally would never speak to, because DePaul is such a rich and diverse university, and it has so many resources. Don't just sit in your room. Well, except for certain students, when you come back to quarantine, you have to sit in your room, right? But once you can get out, and we can get out and be more physically connected, and even when you're socially distanced, so you can still talk to people, right? So go out and make new friends. Tap into some professors, because we have some great faculty here, and we have some great staff members that can be your mentor, that are really interesting, that you can learn so much from. And so this is a time for you where you're out on your own for the very first time in your life, and you need to experience everything. And so just make sure you do, that you take advantage of some resources here. And absolutely, in athletics, we'd love to see you. There's a million ways to get involved, and any way that we can help a student, we like to do that. And Blue Crew is one of those first steps for you to find your way into athletics.
Yeah, that's great.
We're going to start. Courtney, one more thing too. We are going to be hosting some career seminars on that with you guys. I think we're going to possibly co-host. If you want to work in athletics, how you step into that with certain professors and some alumni that are in the industry now. So as we're remote, we're going to be ongoing with our online and digital and in our streams too as well. So
great. Well, let's see, Coach. Did we get your audio back?
Yes, I can hear you. I don't know if my picture is back, but my audio is back.
Yeah, your audio is back. But we'll round out our interview today. If you want to share any advice with our first year students who might be watching in.
Yeah. So this is my 37th year. So I have 37 or 38 different young, eager, smart, intelligent freshmen that usually come to campus. And the thing about DePaul that makes it so unique is that it's very accommodating. It's people from all over the world, all different races, creeds, colors, religions, and immerse itself in real life experiences. That's part of being in Chicago. Is that you get to experience not only the DePaul campus, but the city as well. And so take full advantage of everything that's offered to you. We're mission based. So as Karen said earlier, I think what everybody tries to do with all of our students is turn them back into the world, ready to make a change. And ready to be an agent of change in this world that we live in. And so dive into sports, dive into basketball, dive into groups, organizations, anything that allows you to expand the process of learning. And then once you learn, to be able to go out and become that agent that can do something very positive in this world. I think that's one of the unique things about DePaul, that of all the other universities that have been, stands alone, that we prepare our students to be great leaders in this world that we live in.
That's great. That's great advice. And I think it really speaks especially to DePaul's mission, and that's what we're hoping for. I always tell, students and colleagues, especially when you walk into the DePaul Student Center, you see this statue of Father John Egan, and on the foot of it, it says, "What are you doing for justice today?" And that what you're speaking to, Coach, is really, really core to that. So thank you both for joining us today and sharing your opinions. We're gonna or sharing advice and a little bit about athletics. We're gonna round out today's stream with a video tour of a little bit about the program. But again, if you want to connect with athletics, be sure to follow them on social media at DePaul Athletics, DePaul Blue Crew at DPU Blue Crew. You can check out the men's basketball team at DePaul Hoops as well. But our next session will be this afternoon at 4 o'clock. We will be speaking with the Liberal Studies program. So be sure to join in to learn a little bit more about that as well. In the meantime, you also can find the full listing of Welcome Week activities at welcomeweek.depaul.edu. Our Get to Know DePaul series is part of 165 offerings that we've got in about a 2.5-week time span that make up Welcome Week. So be sure to check that out so that you can stay engaged and involved. But Karen, Coach, as always, great seeing you, and we will talk to you soon.
Can I say one more thing, Courtney?
Oh, go for it, yeah.
Hey, everybody be patient. This is not going to last forever. Just let's do what we need to do together so we get through it. And when it's over, I think that this video that you're going to see is what it's going to be like. So get excited about it and look forward to it. But at the same time, be patient.
Great.
Horns up, Blue Demons.
Go Blue Demons. Bye, everybody.
Welcome, future Blue Demons. I'm Johnny, a DePaul student heading into my second year at the College of Liberal Arts and Sciences. What you just saw in the opening video is a mere glimpse of the thrilling student experience at games. DePaul sponsors 15 NCAA sports teams, and it's in the powerful Big East Conference. When we're all able to get together back on campus, it's going to be awesome. So let me take you on a short tour and share some of the highlights on campus. We're currently at Wish Field. Gazing over the field is a mural of St. Vincent de Paul, aka Vinny, created by our very own DePaul art students. Come on, let's go see some more DePaul facilities. In addition to the iconic Wish Field, we have the McGrath Phillips Arena right here in Lincoln Park, where our volleyball and women's basketball team takes the court. But last but not least, we have to give you a glimpse of Wintrust Arena, our new state-of-the-art arena and the home of Blue Demon basketball. Wintrust Arena is located in the South Loop, Chicago's newest vibrant neighborhood. A short bus or L ride gets you to Wintrust in minutes. In the next 4 years, you'll be cheering on Blue Demon basketball. But at the end, you'll be receiving your diploma in Wintrust Arena, where your family is cheering you on. The best part about all these games is that they're all free for DePaul students. Yes, you heard me, free. Game tickets, transportation, food, and Blue Demon swag. All a part of your college experience here at DePaul. Now let me tell you more about our athletic traditions at DePaul. First, there's our mascot, Dibs, the Blue Demon. Oh, yo, what's up, Dibs? Dibs stands for Demon in Blue Suit. That's right. You'll see Dibs all over campus and at our home games. Here at DePaul, we strive to keep expenses to a minimum by giving you free admission to all our home games. Getting your tickets is as easy as signing to Campus Connect, swiping your ID at your venue. Also, guests are welcome along with exclusive discounts. We love to give you free DePaul gear to our giveaways at sporting events. Last year's students that attended games received these awesome bucket hats and free t-shirts. Hey future Blue Demons, now it's time to introduce to you our elite sports teams. But first, get those horns up. Sporting your Demon horns is an easy way to show off your DePaul spirit. Right off the quad is my favorite nook on campus, where a statue of St. Vincent de Paul, 2 DePaul students, and this furry blue creature. What's up, Dibs? First, we got our men's basketball team, coached by the Dave Lato, who has our team poised to make some noise this season. With a trio of starters returning, the Blue Demons are going to take that momentum into this year, so get fired up. Moving on to the reigning Big East champs, our elite women's basketball team, coached by the legendary Olympic medalist and future Hall of Famer head coach Doug Bruno. While their 18th consecutive NCAA tournament was canceled, they will be back and reloaded. Just like you and me, our student athletes are our classmates and they need our support. The Blue Crew is always out there cheering on our teams. You can join Blue Crew on D-Hub. I can't wait to see you guys out there in that student section, and I'll be cheering on with you. And last but not least, DePaul is a part of Chicago, a city of many sports, which we strive to keep the campus spirit high by wearing blue every Thursday and on every game day. Thanks for taking the Athletics Tradition Tour with me today. I hope to see you guys at a game when we're all back together. Now, I'm going to leave you with a video of our fight song. Make sure you learn it so we can cheer on our fellow Blue Demons together. Take care, Blue Demons.